Okay, hey, welcome back. Hope you took a few minutes, downloaded that personality test, you took it. I love the simplicity of using this particular personality test. There's all kind of tests out there, and I understand that. I use this one a lot just in marriage counseling. The lion, the otter, the golden retriever, the beaver. It helps us kind of understand ourselves, and we're going to kind of walk through just a little bit. What does it all mean? And particularly, I'm going to put my glasses on where I can kind of see the print here. But each letter, the LOGB, it stands for a particular personality type. And the column that you score the highest is usually your dominant personality type. Now, a lot of times we're a blend. You may have a 10 here and a 9 here, with a lion and a golden retriever, a lion and a otter, whatever. But your highest score, that's usually your dominant personality. Dominant personality is what we usually revert to when we get under pressure, okay? So the 4 personality types that this test talks about is, the first one is just lions. How many of you scored as a lion, okay? So lion are leaders, okay? They're usually the boss at work, or at least they think they're the boss at work. Sometimes lions don't have that position in a title, but they have it in their personality. And usually they're pretty decisive. Look at some of the natural strengths. They're decisive, they're goal-oriented, they're achievement-driven, they get results, they're risk takers, they take charge, they're self-starters, they're persistent, they're efficient, they enjoy challenges, and they're driven to complete projects quickly and effectively. I mean, lions are if not careful, we can be very driven. But look at the natural weaknesses. And again, what do? We have to look at our strengths and how do we impact our team? How do we add value to our team by really focusing on our strengths and minimizing our weaknesses? Because what's the natural weakness of a lion? Well, we're impatient. We often can be blunt, particularly when we get in those difficult moments, projects there. Many lions are poor listeners. Because if you're talking to a lion, they're not really listening to what you're saying. They're already formulating in their mind how they're going to respond to you. Some of you lions know exactly what I'm talking about. We're impulsive, we're demanding. We can be insensitive to feelings of others. Tell them to get over it. That's what they get paid to do. Let them do their job. Well, sometimes that can come off as being insensitive. We fear inactivity and relaxation. It's tough for lions to just kind of chill out sometime. And so, if you're a lion, again, you look at your natural strength. Those are good things: decisive, goal-oriented, get results, risk take. That's great, but also understand you can be impatient. You can be a poor listener. What about otters? Otters are usually the excitable, fun-seeking. They're the cheerleader of the group. They love the chatter. They love the talk. Oftentimes, otters are great motivators of others. What's some natural strengths? Again, they can be enthusiastic. They're optimistic. They can be good communicators. They motivational, inspirational. They're outgoing. They're dramatic. Otters can be very dramatic. They're fun-loving. But what's some weaknesses? Otters can often be unrealistic to goals. Oh, no problem, we can do that. And other team members are looking around saying, wait a minute, there's no way we can pull that off in that time. Otters are not often detail-oriented. They can be very disorganized. They can be impulsive. They listen to feelings above logic. That's important as an otter. That's a weakness, that you focus on feelings rather than logic. They can be reactive. They can be too talkative. They can be excitable. And again, it's understanding how do I use my strengths and not be able to allow my weaknesses dominate that makes that personality destructive. Look at golden retrievers. You know, one word describes that golden retriever: you're loyal. Matter of fact, you're so loyal that often the golden retriever absorbs the most emotional pain and punishment in a relationship, and they stay committed. Over the years of my life in leadership and equipping and talking and counseling, a lot of women who are in abusive relationships, violent, physical, emotional, verbal abusive relationship, often are golden retrievers. You know, they're so loyal. They just absorb the emotional pain because they feel like, well, you know, I know they're a good person. I believe he loves me even though he does this and this and this. And it's sad to see such a... This is a great personality trait. They're patient. They're easygoing. They're stable. They're empathetic. They're compassionate. They're puts people above projects. They're dependable, reliable. But what's some of the natural weaknesses? They can be over-accommodating. They may sacrifice results for the sake of harmony. I don't want nobody mad. I don't nobody upset at me, and I want everybody to be like me on my team. So what happens? You end up sacrificing results. The results are not there. You don't achieve what you're supposed to be achieving. They avoid confrontation. They tend to hold grudges and remember hurts inflicted by others, but also alongside of that, they just internalize that. They hold on to that. They fear change. And that can be very detrimental to a person's life. It's a great personality trait. If you are a golden retriever, listen, hats off to you. Man, that's your don't there's not any such thing as a bad personality. But there are bad traits of a personality that we have to know those traits. Beavers, they're accurate, they're detail oriented, they're thorough, they have a thoroughness about them, they're orderly, they're intuitive, they're controlled. But oftentimes beavers are too hard on themselves, they're too critical on others. Why can't you get it right? This is so simple. Why can't you understand that? Well, if you're not a beaver, you know, if you're that otter, you're that party person, well, who cares? What does it matter if I dotted every I and crossed every T? Well, beavers just freak out at that. They won't make decisions without all the facts. They're too picky, and oftentimes they're oversensitive. So again, it's understanding your personality. And if words of affirmation is a person's love language, there are many ways to express words of affirmation, and there are numerous settings that these words can be spoken. You can focus on the character. Those, I'm just giving you two. There's more, but you can focus on the character of a person, their honesty, their integrity. You can focus on their personality. Hey, this is what I admire about you. And you're very specific. You do it personally. You do it one-on-one. You do it privately, you know. Again, sometimes if there's an audience, great. But a lot of times where people values, if my love language is words of appreciation, I value that when I hear it from an individual one-on-one. You can praise in front of others. It communicates value. I'm not saying you don't do that. You write a note, written affirmation is oftentimes something that person will appreciate, because they seem, all those things seem to be more personal, and they understand that. Public affirmation. You know, some people like that, some people don't like that. So again, you got to know the personality of that person. If it's a otter, yeah, you can publicly bring them up on the stage. Come on, let's all give a good hand clap. If it's that beaver, a lot of times they're not into that. They feel embarrassed by that. But for words in praise to be encouraging, and again, they have to be sincere. People can spot a phony a mile away, and oftentimes the tone, the voice, the body language that we have, actions, body language, they all can be perceived as saying, hey, I know you don't really mean that, or wow, there's so much sincerity coming out of that. So you have to make sure that your affirmation is sincere. And maybe that's you, that's your language. And you need to be able to share with other people in the conversation, other coworkers. Hey, you know what really motivates me? You know what really helps me? It's just when I hear words of appreciation, when I hear value being expressed in words. They can be written words, they can be verbal words, they can be in private, or they can be in public. So that's the first language, love language at the workplace, is just words of appreciation. We're going to take a break, and then we'll come back, and we'll go to chapter 4, and we'll talk a little bit about quality time.